What if the stories about haunted castles, cursed forests, and ghost-filled hotels weren't just legends, but real? From an island where screams echo across the water, to a hotel room so terrifying it had to be bricked up, to ancient cities where the dead still seem to walk. The world is full of places where the line between the living and the dead is frighteningly thin. This is the Mind Metrics. And today we're taking you on a journey to 30 of the creepiest, most haunted places on Earth, each one hiding a dark history and chilling true accounts that will make you question what you believe. Fact 1. The Tower of London, a fortress of ghosts. Built by William the Conqueror in 1078, the Tower of London has been a royal palace, prison, armory, and execution site. Anne Boleyn, Henry VIII's second wife, was beheaded here in 1536, and many claim her spirit still roams the Tower Green, sometimes holding her severed head. Yeoman warders, the famous beefeaters, have also reported ghostly children in nightgowns, thought to be the princes in the tower who disappeared in 1483. Some guards have even refused night shifts after hearing phantom screams echoing through the stone walls. Fact 2. The ancient Ram Inn, built on bones. Dating back to 1145, the ancient Ram Inn in Gloucestershire, England, was constructed on a pagan burial ground. Archaeological digs have uncovered children's skeletons beneath its floors. Over the centuries, it has served as a priest's home, a public house, and a private residence. But its history is soaked in tales of ritual sacrifice and witchcraft. Guests have been dragged from their beds by unseen hands, and some have fled within minutes of checking in. Fact 3. Aokigahara Forest. Silence at the foot of Mount Fuji. Aokigahara, Japan's infamous suicide forest, sits on a hardened lava plain created by Mount Fuji's last eruption. Its dense trees absorb sound so completely that even footsteps vanish within a few meters. Locals tell stories of yurei, restless spirits, who lure visitors deeper into the woods. Recovery teams have reported finding personal belongings like wallets and notes resting neatly on the forest floor, as if the owners vanished into thin air. Fact 4. RMS Queen Mary, the haunted liner. Launched in 1936, the RMS Queen Mary carried both luxury passengers and, during World War II, thousands of troops. The ship's most haunted area is the engine room, where in 1966, a crewman was crushed by a watertight door during a routine drill. Visitors today report hearing the door slam shut with no one near it, feeling sudden blasts of icy air, and seeing shadowy figures vanish into the steel walls. Fact 5. Château de Brissac, the Green Lady. In the Loire Valley of France stands Château de Brissac, where Charlotte of France was murdered in the 15th century after her affair was discovered. Her ghost appears in a green dress, but her face is a horrific sight. Two gaping black holes where her eyes should be, and a mouth frozen in an eternal scream. Guests have heard her wailing echo through the halls in the dead of night. Fact 6. The Myrtles Plantation, portraits that watch you. Built in 1796 in St. Francisville, Louisiana, the Myrtles Plantation has been called one of America's most haunted homes. Legend says it sits atop a Native American burial ground. Its most famous ghost is Chloe, a former slave, caught eavesdropping on her owners and punished by having her ear cut off. Guests claim to see her wearing a green turban, appearing in mirrors and photographs. Some even say the portraits inside seem to follow you with their eyes. Fact 7. Poveglia Island, Italy's island of death. Just south of Venice lies Poveglia, a small island used in the 1700s to quarantine plague victims. Over 160,000 people are believed to have died there. Later, it became a mental hospital, where patients allegedly endured cruel experiments. Fishermen avoid its shores, claiming their nets pull up human bones. Visitors who have snuck onto the island report screams carried on the wind and the sensation of being watched from the crumbling buildings. Fact 8. Eastern State Penitentiary, solitary confinement's toll. This Philadelphia prison, opened in 1829, introduced solitary confinement as a reform method. Inmates lived alone in small cells with no contact, driving many to insanity. Today, its decaying corridors are said to echo with phantom footsteps, cell doors slamming, and ghostly whispers. Paranormal investigators have captured EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, including one chilling recording of a voice whispering, "Get out." Fact 9. Banff Springs Hotel, the Ghost Bride's Last Dance. This luxury hotel in Alberta, Canada, is famous for its ghostly bride. In the early 1900s, she tripped on her gown while descending the grand staircase for her wedding and fell to her death. Guests claimed to see her dancing alone in the ballroom or walking the stairs with her dress billowing, though no one else is there. Fact 10. Edinburgh Castle, music from the underground. Built atop volcanic rock, Edinburgh Castle has seen countless sieges and deaths over its 900-year history. Its most famous ghost is a piper who vanished centuries ago while exploring the castle's underground tunnels. To this day, visitors report hearing faint bagpipe music drifting up from below, even though the tunnels are sealed. Fact 11. Leap Castle, the Elemental Watches. Leap Castle in Ireland, built in the 13th century, hides a chamber called the Bloody Chapel, where members of the ruling O'Carroll clan murdered their own kin. The castle's most disturbing spirit is the Elemental, a small humanoid figure with decaying flesh and black sunken eyes. Witnesses say its arrival is marked by the stench of sulfur and rotting flesh, along with an overwhelming sense of dread. Fact 12. The Stanley Hotel, Stephen King's nightmare. In 1974, Stephen King stayed at Colorado's Stanley Hotel, where he and his wife were the only guests before it closed for the season. That night, King dreamed of his son running through the hotel corridors screaming, chased by a fire hose that came to life. This dream became the seed for The Shining. Guests still report hearing children's laughter in empty hallways and seeing a ghostly pianist playing in the ballroom. Fact 13. The Catacombs of Paris, Whispers of the Dead. Beneath Paris lie miles of ossuaries holding the remains of more than 6 million people. Visitors describe hearing faint whispers, seeing shadowy figures moving just beyond their flashlight beams, and feeling sudden cold spots. Some have gotten lost despite marked routes, and a few have never been found. Fact 14. The Winchester Mystery House, a labyrinth for the dead. Sarah Winchester believed she was cursed by the spirits of those killed by her husband's rifles. Guided by a psychic, she built her California mansion nonstop for 38 years. Staircases leading to ceilings, doors opening to drops, and rooms within rooms. Visitors say they hear hammering at night and see shadowy figures in corners that should be empty. Fact 15. Alcatraz Prison, the hole still screams. Alcatraz, once home to America's most dangerous criminals, is infamous for its hole. Small isolation cells where prisoners endured pitch-black darkness for days. Guards reported hearing screams from empty cells, and tourists today describe feeling sudden pressure on their chests as if the prison itself is pushing them out. Fact 16. Port Arthur, Australia, Whispers in the Ruins. Once a 19th century penal settlement in Tasmania, Port Arthur was infamous for its brutal conditions and use of solitary confinement in pitch-black cells. Prisoners often emerged blind or mentally broken. Today, the ruins remain eerily intact, and visitors claim to hear phantom footsteps following them through the empty corridors. Tour guides have reported seeing shadowy figures standing in doorways that disappear the moment they're approached. Fact 17. Room 873 at the Fairmont Banff Springs, the bricked-up door. At this Canadian hotel, room 873 is permanently sealed behind a wall. The legend goes that a family was murdered there and the stains on the walls could never be cleaned. Guests who stayed nearby reported screams in the night and bloody handprints on the mirrors, even after the room was closed. Some claim that if you knock on the bricked-up wall, you'll hear a faint knock back. Fact 18. Château de Chateaubriand, the October apparition. In Brittany, France, the ghost of Françoise de Foix, mistress to King Francis I, is said to return to the castle courtyard every October. the month of her death in 1537. Witnesses describe her as a pale, sorrowful figure dressed in white, walking the same path over and over before fading into the night. The appearance is often preceded by the faint scent of roses, her favorite perfume. Fact 19. Bhangar Fort, India, the city that must sleep. This 17th century city in Rajasthan is surrounded by an official government warning. No one is allowed inside after sunset or before sunrise. Legend says a sorcerer cursed the city after being rejected by a princess. Within a year, it was abandoned. Locals insist that anyone who stays overnight never returns, and visitors have reported hearing drums and chanting from the empty fort after dark. Fact 20. Hoia Baciu Forest, Romania, the circle that kills trees. Known as the Bermuda Triangle of Transylvania, Hoia Baciu is a dense forest where electronics fail and compasses spin wildly. In the middle lies a perfectly round clearing where no trees grow, despite healthy soil. Visitors entering the clearing report intense dizziness, headaches, and lost time, with some claiming to have left hours later than they thought. Fact 21. The Bell Witch, Tennessee, a haunting that talks back. In the early 1800s, the Bell family's farmhouse was tormented by an invisible entity. Unlike most hauntings, this one spoke, answering questions, mocking the family, and even predicting events. John Bell, the father, died under mysterious circumstances, and some claimed the Bell Witch poisoned him. Even today, the property is considered cursed, and locals warn against disturbing it. Fact 22. Larnac Castle, New Zealand, a daughter's sorrow. Built in the 1870s in Dunedin, this Gothic-style castle is haunted by Kate Larnac, who died of typhoid at 26. Visitors report sudden cold drafts in her bedroom and the sound of a woman weeping. Staff claim her ghost has been seen staring out from the tower windows during storms, as if searching for someone who never returned. Fact 23. Old Changi Hospital, Singapore, Ghosts of War. Built in 1935, Old Changi Hospital was taken over by Japanese forces in World War II and allegedly used for torture. Now abandoned, the hospital's peeling walls and empty wards are said to echo with the cries of former prisoners. Paranormal investigators have recorded shadowy figures darting across hallways and the sound of boots pacing on the top floors where no one is allowed. Fact 24. The RMS Queen Elizabeth, a phantom captain at sea. Before it was destroyed by fire in 1972, crew members of the RMS Queen Elizabeth reported a recurring apparition, a man in a naval uniform who appeared to be inspecting the decks at night. He never spoke, simply tipping his cap before vanishing. Several witnesses described him in identical detail despite never having compared stories. Fact 25. Hellfire Club Lodge, Ireland. Built on the dead, perched in the Dublin Mountains, this 18th century hunting lodge was built over an ancient passage tomb. Soon after construction, members of the notorious Hellfire Club began using it for occult rituals. Visitors have described a tall, cloaked figure standing at the doorway at dusk, and locals say the surrounding woods go completely silent when it appears. Fact 26. The Island of the Dolls, Mexico. Eyes in the trees. Deep in the canals of Xochimilco lies an island covered in hundreds of decaying dolls, hung by the caretaker, Don Julian Santana, to appease the spirit of a drowned girl. After decades alone, he was found dead in the same spot where she drowned. Visitors claim the dolls' eyes follow them, and some say they've heard whispers in children's voices from the trees. Fact 27. The Banff Springs Ghost Bellhop, Service from Beyond. One of the hotel's friendliest hauntings, Sam McCauley was a bellhop in the mid-20th century who loved his job so much he never left. Guests have reported him offering to carry their bags, leading them to their rooms, only to vanish before entering. Hotel staff have confirmed that his description matches McCauley perfectly, down to the way he tilted his cap. Fact 28. Povelia's Missing Bell, the sound that shouldn't exist. Even though Povelia's church bell was removed decades ago, Visitors to the abandoned island have heard it ringing in the middle of the night. The sound is often described as faint at first, then suddenly loud, followed by an eerie silence that makes the air feel heavier. Fact 29. The Edinburgh Vaults, shadows that breathe. Underneath Edinburgh's South Bridge are vaults built in the 18th century, first used for storage, then taken over by criminals and the destitute. Today, ghost tours report flickering lanterns, cold spots that move like a living thing, and shadowy figures that seem to grow larger as they approach, before disappearing altogether. Fact 30. Pompeii, Italy, a city that never sleeps. Frozen in time by Mount Vesuvius's eruption in 79 AD, Pompeii's streets are eerily preserved. At night, some visitors claim to hear the sounds of life as it once was. Merchants calling, carts rumbling over cobblestones, dogs barking, all fading into distant screams. Others swear they've seen shadowy figures peering from the upper windows of houses that have stood empty for nearly 2,000 years. We've traveled across continents, through abandoned prisons, cursed forests, and forgotten cities, each one leaving behind more questions than answers. Whether these hauntings are restless spirits, echoes of tragedy, or something we can't yet explain, one thing is certain: the world is far stranger and far darker than it appears on the surface. If you enjoyed this journey into the eerie and unexplained, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another deep dive into the world's most mysterious places. Thanks for watching, and like always, stay curious.